Hello, everybody! The Mediterranean breeze sweeps across the Vieux-Port harbor as the sun slowly rises behind Marseille's ancient hills. Rows of fishing boats, the smell of salt, and the cries of seagulls feel as if they haven't changed for centuries. But one thing, according to many residents and researchers, has changed, quietly yet steadily. The social face of Marseille is no longer like that of other French cities. On this busy morning, the line of bakeries along Rue d'Aubonne begins to open. The scent of croissants mixes with the aroma of Middle Eastern spices from the shop next door, while greetings, salam, bonjour, and words colored by Maghreb accents blend naturally in the air. It doesn't take long for a visitor to sense that Marseille is France, yet pulsing with a much more diverse rhythm. Here, diversity isn't just a slogan, says a local vendor who has lived in the Noyelles neighborhood for 30 years. If Paris is formal France, Marseille is France alive. In various independent studies and reports, Marseille is often described as the French city with the largest proportion of Muslim residents. Estimates commonly cited by demographic experts range between 20 and 30%. And among younger generations, the presence can feel even more pronounced, especially in districts with long migration histories from North Africa and the Middle East. But it isn't the exact numbers that make this transformation striking, it's the visible presence of the Muslim community in the city's everyday life. From bustling traditional markets and late-night cafes to neighborhood mosques whose congregations continue to grow. Many tourists are surprised to discover that Marseille feels far more global than the usual stereotype of a French city. Yet this shift is not merely about statistics, it's about atmosphere. And today Marseille carries the atmosphere of a city in transformation, slow but unmistakable. A city no longer following the rhythm of northern France, but composing a rhythm of its own, younger, more diverse, more vibrant. And this is the opening stage of a larger story that has shaken France in recent years, Marseille as a city perhaps stepping into a new chapter of its history. On a busy afternoon in the La Canebière district, 3 teenage boys sit on the edge of the sidewalk laughing loudly while eating panisse, the chickpea-based Marseille snack that has existed since the era of Greek sailors. One of them wears a hoodie with the OM Football Club emblem. Another sports a small white kufi. They speak in a mix of French, Moroccan Arabic, and a bit of street slang understood only by locals. This is the youth of Marseille, a blend of cultures found in no other French city. Walk toward the 3rd or 15th arrondissement, areas with deep migration histories, and this impression grows even stronger. Students stream out of schools joking around, some young women wearing pastel-color fashion hijabs, many young men with light beards greeting their friends with the familiar Muslim salutation. In some corners, halal butcher shops sit side by side with classic French boulangeries. None of this is unusual, it is routine. This is where sociologists often note something striking. Among the younger generation, Muslim identity stands out more vividly than in previous generations, even more than in major cities like Paris or Lyon. It is not simply about religion, it's about language, music, lifestyle, and the way they build community. A secondary school teacher in the Belzunce area once said in a local interview, "Kids here grow up with 2 worlds, France and the Mediterranean. They don't choose one, they merge them into a new identity." In community spaces, it is easy to see how young people form tight-knit social circles. Many are active in Islamic community centers, sports clubs, urban art groups, and Marseille's signature rap collectives, a scene that constantly brings identity, equality, and North African family roots into its lyrics. They are not a quiet generation. They are direct, vocal, open, and they feel they belong to this city. If older generations tended to keep religion private and discreet, Marseille's youth display it as part of who they are. Ultimately, it isn't statistics that make this phenomenon so palpable, it's their energy. An energy that makes Marseille feel younger, faster in its transformation, and more willing to present its diverse face to the world. And it is this energy that will eventually pull the city into a much larger national debate. In a small mosque in the Belle de Mai district, footsteps echo every late afternoon. Among those who arrive, there is almost always a new face, someone who wants to learn, to seek answers, or simply to get to know the community. The local imam says this change didn't appear overnight, it rose like a tide, slowly but steadily. There are no official figures, but community leaders say they increasingly notice a rise in new converts. Some come carrying long stories of spiritual searching. Others were raised in secular environments and found calm and belonging through Marseille's Muslim community. Social media has become a powerful amplifier. Personal stories go viral, and each post strengthens the impression that Marseille is not just a port city, but a city of spiritual discovery. Community centers are coming alive as well. Arabic language courses, cultural forums, Islamic history classes, and social outreach programs are bustling with activity. For longtime residents, this is the Marseille they have always known, a city of cross-currents. But for the younger generation, this is an identity they are actively shaping themselves. While Marseille's everyday life moves dynamically, the national political arena is boiling. Television talk shows grow heated, newspaper editorials answer each other aggressively, and politicians from all directions use Marseille as evidence to support their own arguments. Marseille proves that France is changing too fast, a right-wing politician declares in a televised debate. But another politician quickly counters, describing Marseille as a model of modern coexistence that demonstrates the strength of French diversity. The people of Marseille often chuckle at such dramatization. A taxi driver says, half laughing, "If you watch the national news, you'd think there's an ideological war here every day. But we're just busy working, cooking, taking our kids to school." Still, even if residents try to stay relaxed, the political tension is hard to ignore. Integration policies, the closing or opening of worship spaces, debates over religious symbols, everything seems to circle back to Marseille. The city has become a national stage, whether it wanted the spotlight or not. After centuries as a port city, Marseille now finds itself in a position it never quite expected, becoming a city that may help define the future of France. While other cities cling tightly to older identities, Marseille has moved ahead, opening its doors to waves of culture, language, and belief arriving from 3 continents. Sociologists often refer to Marseille as a social laboratory, a place where young people grow up with hybrid identities, French, Mediterranean, and Muslim, all at once. And they embrace that mix with pride. Will Marseille become a new capital of Islam? Will it become a model for Europe's future cities? Or will it remain a point of continuous national debate? There are no definite answers, but one thing is clear. Marseille is not waiting for France to change. Marseille has already changed, and from that change emerges a story that makes the entire country look up and wonder where this city is heading next.